introduce our speaker for the evening, Ms. Shreya Mukherjee. Ms. Shreya Mukherjee is a student of sociology at the Lady Shri Ram College for Women. She is an avid reader and writer and has implemented her passion for writing as a content writer, a content developer, and a content strategist. Ms. Shreya, I would like you to proceed with the session.
Thank you, Priti. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's safe and doing well. So, I would like to start off the session with well wishes for everyone as of this moment. I hope your families are safe. I hope you guys are all at home and being able to do well. So, okay, now I'll start. So, as you already know, the topic is creating innovative earning opportunities during this pandemic. And I would like to start off with a quote from the Director General of International Labour Organization, Mr. Guy Ryder. He said that this is no longer only a health crisis, it is also a major labor market and an economic crisis that is having a huge impact on people. And here's the thing, the impact that it's going to have right now is going to take effect into the future years because the lessons that are being taught, the structural changes that are happening, all the new things, the new managerial skills that are coming up will obviously and definitely take effect into the future and will change forever how the companies recruit people, how people take up new skills, and whatever the fresh market, the fresh students, the fresh graduates, the fresh job seekers are going to have to take up. Can I go to the next slide, please? So this will be addressed to people who are in colleges right now, people who have just freshly graduated, and for working professionals. So I would like to start off. The first point would be for everyone is to refresh and reframe your mental state. What has happened over the pandemic is that it has disoriented everyone. Everyone is in a state of absolute disarray. No one knows what's going to happen. Everyone's feeling uncertain. So it's going to take everyone collectively to make an effort to get out of this mental frame of mind. Obviously, everyone who is a working professional right now is worried about their job continuity. Will they be laid off at any given moment if they haven't been already? What will be the future of their industry that they are working in right now? What will be the consequences of this pandemic on their, say they have kids, on their job seeking, whole process of them job seeking out jobs in the future. So this has absolutely thrown people off into a state of financial, mental, an absolute crisis. So what you have to do right now is try and take a step back, take a breather, come out of this state, come out of this state of disarray and this anxiety, because it's plaguing everyone. So here's the thing, while the pandemic has absolutely caused havoc in people's lives, it has also given rise to new opportunities. People who have a who have been people have been laid off, but at the same time people with a certain amount of skill sets, certain skill sets have been hired as well, because everyone is in a state of disarray. And the faster you can get yourself to be free from this whole mental unease, you'll be able to think clearer. You have to take a step back, you have to think clearer, and then you'll be able to reorient yourself faster to the new normal, because the new normal is going to stay for a while, and it's going to stay for the upcoming years. It's not going to go away anywhere. So the faster you can pull yourself out of this whole situation of a mentally dark place, you'll be able to think clearer, you'll be able to make clearer decisions. Because even, trust me, even during the pandemic, people who are clear headed, people who are level headed, who can make rational decisions, they are also having problems. They are also in such a state of confusion and uncertainty that they are also falling behind. So this is your time. If you can pull yourself faster out of this state of after this mental state, you'll be able to get ahead faster. So flowing into the next point, take this time, move ahead, step ahead of whatever is happening, forget about whatever has happened in the past, update yourself. If you've had the misfortune of being laid off, it's a terrible situation. So now what you have to do is, you will obviously feel bad about it. It'll wreak havoc on your state. it'll take a bad toll on you and your family. But what you have to do is, don't be in isolation. You will be upset about it, you will be broken up about it, but after you're over it, and you have to get over it, you will have to update yourself, rebrand yourself. You will have to make sure that your personality has developed, your skills have developed, you are someone who will be an asset, more of an asset than you were in your previous job. You have to update everything you know. You are going to be competing in the market once you've been laid off, or even if you haven't been, you are competing with youngsters with varying age ranges, with varying number of skills. You are not going to be able to say that I have worked in this industry for a very long time, so I will not be looking ahead because I already know whatever there is to. There is no such thing as knowing everything. You will always have to look ahead and try to update yourself, try to update your skill set. You will have to take up the process of absolutely imbibe the process of learning new skills. Maybe this is happen this is a very common problem with people who are say above the age of 40, 50. They have had a stable job till now, and maybe that job was something that they were very good at. Say, I'll take the example of professors in schools, in colleges, in universities. They are excellent teachers, but what has happened is, in that skill set of excellence, pedagogy, they have not been updated with technology. They have not felt the need to do it. So now, when a time of crisis has happened, they are struggling to teach the students, and both the teacher and the student are suffering from it. It's because a lot of the times teachers, if I'm not being stereotypical, but a lot of the times teachers look down on our technology and that we use on it. It's ruining our brains. Maybe true, but now look at what has happened. It's digital has become the new norm. Print is declining, and was in a state of decline for a while. And you have to, so now they are bound to it. Now you cannot say that, oh, I don't want to learn about technology when everything is running digitally. So you have to learn up new things, which flows into the next point: upskill. Even if you are not in a even if you had in a state of stable, you have a stable job, you are in a certain about your job continuity. Even if you're not, if you are worried that your company will let you go, or if you are not doing enough, upskill. Even if you're not in a state of crisis, you have to do it. Look into other industries that you are not working in. There is always something to learn and implement from every single sector. Especially in the job market, there is no such skill that will go to waste. You will have to, say for example, you are a content writer, and your main area is, you are an author, you write, that's your area of expertise. So you cannot go and say that I won't learn about how to blog, like the technical aspects of blogging, how to put up a page, how to design a website. You can also learn about managerial skills, because as an author you will also have to hire people to edit your work, to go through, run the different aspects of publishing. There are a number of skills that are involved in one single job. So you will have to know a variety of skills in order to make one role that you are doing primarily run smoothly. So you have to look beyond your industry, and you will have to connect with people who are not in your area of expertise. Build up a network, connect with people who are working in absolutely opposite industries, because you never know when that will come into use. You don't know, maybe that person who you had spoken to a few months ago, who you had made an acquaintance of, he may be able to help you in a time of crisis. He may be able to refer you to someone that he knows. Say, even that one referral will matter a lot, because your credibility has been established. People will know, okay, this person has worked here, this person knows them, and okay, we'll hire them. If not that way, it's not that simple, of course, but I'm just saying, it's building connections, building networks will never go to waste. And here's the thing: if you are in a state of crisis, don't shy away from asking from help. Because, okay, this is something that is very prevalent in the East, especially in the Southeast, in the South Pacific countries. People have stigmatized unemployment, and I'm sure it happens in the West as well, but in East is where I live, so I can tell you about it. It's like unemployment is a point of absolute shame. They People will not share their problems with anyone. People think being unemployed is a bad thing, and then they won't go out looking for help. And you won't receive help unless you ask and reach out for it. People are not mind readers, so you have to use your networks. Reach out to your family, reach out to your colleagues, your ex-colleagues, your friends. Reach out and ask for the help that you need. And something this has recently come up, and it's a very positive thing, I think. On LinkedIn, LinkedIn is a very good platform to connect with people, to make new connections, to find people who are in the various industries and sectors working there. So people who have been victim of the situation, of the circumstances that are happening, they are coming up and asking help from their connections that they've built over the years, to help them look for opportunities that will help them keep afloat. Maybe some of them have they are very well qualified for a lot of jobs, and they have been in working in whatever company they were in for a very long time, for years. And suddenly, because companies are cost cutting, they have been let go, and now they are in an absolute state of crisis. So people are reaching out, people are finding out what opportunities they have. They are looking for it through their friends, their families, their connections, and it's a very positive change. So here, one thing you have to understand is, if you are in a state of crisis and you have asked for help and there is an opportunity, don't let your ego and pride get in the way of it. What happens is, a lot of the times, when a company has to do cost cutting, you have probably been offered, say, 10 lakh rupees in your initial, what that was your initial payment, your income. But after the cost cutting, the company has said that no, we'll only offer you 5, because that's what all we can give you right now. And a lot of adults have seen them do this, is that they, out of ego, out of absolute pride, and they just say no, that is undermining me, that is insulting me. They take it personally, and that is not something you should do, because especially if you are able to afford it, if you have other opportunities lined up, go ahead for it. But if it's a matter of survivability, don't discriminate what kind of opportunity comes your way. If it's an amount that you can do well with, if it's an amount you can survive with, if it's a family situation, maybe your family needs it, if it's an amount that will help your family, then go for it. Don't let your pride get in the way and say that this is not what I was getting initially, this is not what I was getting in my previous job, I should be getting more. Instead, what you should do is upskill, update yourself, bring up, speak to your colleagues, speak to your ex-colleagues, speak to them and ask them, hey, what skills should I take up? You are working there now, what skills should I bring up? Is there anything that I should know that you know that I don't know? What other Learn everything you can from everyone and everywhere. And you cannot pick and choose if you're in a state of crisis. Don't let your That's what, don't let your pride get in the way and say that I won't ask people for help because they might judge me and criticize me. If that they are judging you in your state of crisis, then that says something about them and not about you. You are doing the right thing by reaching out for help, and if they don't help you, then that's their problem, not yours. So that, and look into industries that are booming right now, look into other sectors that are doing well, look into jobs that are, say, in the sectors, industries of cleaning services, sanitary services, then you get the freelancing industry, the e-learning industry, they are all booming right now. Digital marketing, all of these have just absolutely skyrocketed, because everything has changed, and print media is now print media is declining. So you have to make and update your skills in such a way that you can compete with the ones who are coming out right now. If, say, you have previously worked in print media, you would want to update yourself in every digital aspect possible, so that you will be able to compete with them, you will become an asset. And freelancing has become such a positive and such a good opportunity, because a lot of companies are willing to take in, to absorb a lot of freelancers, for a lot of people who are doing gigs. because it, one, it saves their cost, and two, it's not a long term thing. They get the job done that you need, and that's it, that's all, and you are getting paid a reasonable amount for it. So freelancing is something that you should definitely look into. uh Maybe you want, if you have a lot of skills, e-learning has become the one of the most booming things right now. So say you have a skill, say you were you were in the IT sector, say you know about marketing, say you know about sales, say you know about product management, financial management. Go and teach all these things. If you are someone who's loved creating content, go and make YouTube videos, go make tutorials that can teach people. Assign, partner up with e-learning institutions, because they'll give you the opportunity to go out and at least share the knowledge that you have, and you will be earning from it as well. So you have to look into, actually, here's what happens is, if you've had a stable job for a number of decades, say someone's worked somewhere already for 30 years, they've had a stable job and they've just been laid off, they wouldn't have the need to go out and look for these. They just might use it for a, as a method of, just awareness. But seriously, looking into these doesn't happen. So there are a lot of portals that provide you, job portals, then internship portals, a lot of portals that provide you with opportunities from companies. Millions of companies register there, millions of companies are looking to recruit job seekers from there. Look into them, look into the internships platforms, the job seeker platforms. And especially during this state of crisis, a lot of governments have also come up with a lot of programs, online portals that will help the citizens who are seeking employment get in touch with the recruiters. So look into the job portals, look online. Everything is on online these days, so look online, because you will find a lot of stuff. LinkedIn has provided a very good platform for those who are looking for jobs. They have absolutely customized it to the current times, so you must look into all of it. Also, internal hiring is on the rise, so look into those local companies, look into the local hiring that is happening. Don't think that I am unqualified about it or I'm overqualified. If you are in need, if you need to do it, then do it. That's all you need to do. You need to just reach out, because you can always get a better job once the pandemic is over. The pandemic isn't permanent, but what will happen is you can also, you can keep yourself afloat during these times. So you can always change your jobs, because the jobs that are going away now, they will open up after the pandemic. So you can always shift your jobs, you can always use your skills that you learned during this time of crisis in the future. Also, what you can do is, if you have skills that you can use, if you have a passion, a cause that you want to work for, open your own startup, go entrepreneurial. If you have, like, you don't need to spend a lot of money on it. If it's a cause that is for the good, that is for your own satisfaction also, just go for it, because you never know where it will take you. Maybe you have a passion for, say, making masks. Okay, that is what, those are the things that have come up these days: handmade soaps, soaps, then masks, handmade masks. These are coming up. People are selling them in online stores. They are being bought. They are all the trend these days. So go for all these. Look for opportunities. Look for your skills. Look what how your skills are matching up in a diverse industry. Go look for it all, because here's the thing. Everything has gone online, of course. You can work remotely from anywhere. You can connect, you can say you are sitting here in India, you can work with someone who's in New York. Your skills can be needed somewhere across the continent. You won't know unless you even try and look for it, right? So you have to go and look for it yourself. Otherwise, sulking and being upset for a period of months isn't going to help you in any way. So try and start up yourself. Try and look for it. Look for opportunities outside of your state, outside of a country, outside of your field, because there will always be opportunities. Because the jobs may be going away, but there are people needed to fill them up as well. The companies are going to look for people who will be doing the jobs that you were not being able to do. So that's it for the people. We actually have a lot of stories that I'll pick up from my home country. A lot of stories of hope, like because these are the people who have been through it, been through these circumstances, and they have risen from it. So there was this person who was a former MNC staffer. He had a very well paid job, but what happened was during this crisis, he was laid off, and he couldn't even, after a few months, he couldn't afford his children's tuitions, he couldn't feed his family, he couldn't pay off the bills that were there, and it was an absolute state of desperation. There was nothing that was looking up for them. So what the man did was, he always had a dream to open up his own food place, but he couldn't exactly open up a cafe because he didn't have the funds for it. So what he did was, with a nominal amount of 20,000 rupees, he opened up a small food stall, a very small, just a kiosk, a cart kind of a place that was just selling simple burgers, simple snacks, and people loved it. People were paying for it, people were talking about it, and it helped him gain publicity through word of mouth, through social media, and he was able to do what he wasn't getting paid as much. He was making one fifth of what he used to get paid initially, but he was happy doing what he was, and it was paying his bills. So that's all that mattered. And it wasn't like he didn't let his ego get in the way of, oh, why will I suddenly run a food cart when I was getting paid in 6 digit numbers. So it was his, he didn't let that get in the way of him living, doing what he wanted to do. So that's another story. And another one is, there was a story, there was a small kiosk that was run by two 8-year-old couple, one 8-year-old couple, and they was actually in a very bustling place. Initially, they had a lot of office workers coming and going from their kiosk, because it was an office area. So what happened was, during the when the pandemic hit, they weren't even able to sell one slice of a roti that they had made, because it was such a bad situation that no one would even come and eat. So what, this went on for months, and they were struggling to make ends meet. So what happened was, a social media influencer one day was passing by, and he helped them out. He let his followers know on the various platforms that, hey, this is the situation, this couple needs help, come and have something from here, spend a little bit of money, or donate some, whatever minimal amount you can donate, and help them out a little bit. So he gave them the traction, he gave them the money that was donated, and they now, from an absolutely obscure kiosk, they became absolutely viral here. So people were going and visiting their shops, they were showing support from them for them. They were helped by someone, and they were happy about it. They were given aid, even though in a time where they could have just starved to death. So there's always going to be an opportunity for you, even if you have to wait. Even just little bit of patience is all it's going to take, especially if you can wait for it. Excuse me. So my next point is for students, for people who are in colleges right now. uh, this is a very, I would say, a very fortunate time for people who are still students, because you are not under the pressure that your parents may be under, that you're the person who's earning in your family is under. You have the freedom to do what you're doing, and it's a use this time to take up as many internships as possible, internships, externships, do as many of them as possible, because companies right now are hiring, startups are hiring. And I'm a part of the placement cell in my college, and I have seen a lot of startups come up recently. There is everyone who's passionate about something or the other has made it a sort of a infrastructure that they want to build in the future. So people are looking, and all you have to do is find them. So you have to use the internships, the experience that you get right now, and build up your profile, build up your brand, you build up your personal, make a personal branding that will help you in the future. Use this time to go for apprenticeships. Use this time to work on any projects that you get. Right now is not the time for you to be worrying about how much you're getting paid. Right now is the time for you to build up experiences, because you are very lucky that you know what the future will look like. It's like the training that you receive, you are fortunate enough to retrain yourself at this very moment. Adults are having to go through the process of doing it in a state of crisis. You have the opportunity to retrain yourself as and when with the time. There are plenty of e-learning resources. Gather as many skills as you can. Do as many internships and apprenticeships as you can. Build up a whole skill set that no one can deny that you have a lot of capability and acumen. So you mustn't discriminate and say that, oh, this is not what I want to do, this is not paying well. That your job right now is not to get paid. Your job right now is to build up your experience that you will be a better, more knowledgeable person in the future. So work part time, work on projects, work on anything you can get your hands on for the experience. Do social work if you want. If your heart is there, then work there. So this is the time where you will have to do a lot of skill training, both soft and technical skills. If you are someone who is into, there are skills like coding, content writing, digital marketing, then financial modeling, business analysis. All of these are booming. Project management, managerial skills, all of these are going to come in very handy if you have them. Coding, IT sectors, they are always open. So learn all these skills. Try and connect with more people. Build up your social skills by connecting with people on different professional platforms. Because right now, if you have, say, you've done an internship during your college years, you have met a bunch of people from different sectors, and in the future they will serve as meaningful connections for you. So, maybe right now people are not looking at hiring opportunities, but sometimes internships do turn into full-time jobs. They do offer you jobs if they see that you are good enough. So you never know, in the future you might just get hired from some company, from some a company you had worked with during your second year of college. Or maybe you'll continue working with them over the years and they'll just eventually hire you because they can see the potential in you. So don't let go of any opportunity. Don't just think that, a lot of times what happens, I've seen it in students happening, is that they just self reject in the first year of, if you're applying for an internship in your first and second year of college, no one expects you to know the entire nitty gritty of whatever human resources and whatever managerial skill is required at a company level. They
Hi,
know
Shreya.
what.
Sorry to interrupt. Actually, we're running short on time, so we'll.
Okay, I'll just wrap up in 2 minutes.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so I'll just to keep it short, look for opportunities, look for skills, reach out to mentors because mentors are going to guide you through these times. And also, don't let go of any opportunity that you get and don't self reject. You may think you're not qualified enough, but other people might think differently. So don't self reject and just go for whatever you can do. So for people who are fresh graduates, don't lose hope. This is right now is the time. You 1 year, losing 1 year is not going to be the end of your world. You have time, you have time to grow. Take up this time to build up on more skills and uh, more experiences, because after this, after all this turbulence time is over, you are going to have better opportunities. You're going to be able to do more things with your time. You will be the one, that person who has grown through the turbulence times. There is hope in the future. People are going to do well. Your time will come, and maybe this was not your time. So take your time. Don't rush through things and lose hope that, oh, what am I going to do? I missed out 1 year of applications. I missed out 1 year of college. Everyone is going to understand that this was a time of